What's happening, guys? Don't know about a lot of you, but I have been ill the last couple of weeks. I know sickness has hit our box hard, and it's made me think that the CrossFit year has ended with a bit of a whimper. Box closed for Christmas and New Year's and things like that, so it's a bit of a higgledy-piggledy anyway. So I thought, in one of my fever-induced evenings, trying to hold off vomiting just before Christmas, it would be a good idea to do a sort of CrossFit Llanelli Year in review, so at least we had something to chat about and to remember some of the highlights from the last 12 months. Now, if you think all the way back to this time last year, many of us were getting prepped, getting primed, getting ready, not for the Open, but for the same-sex trios comp that I think was supposed to happen at the end of January. There were loads of teams from CFL going to be taking part. And Mark Drakeford said basically, no, we couldn't. Coronavirus was still a thing. 12 months ago, it was still getting in the way of life. And it meant that the comp had to be cancelled, which I'm going to get to in a second, I end up thinking was a positive thing for the comp, positive thing for us as a box, which meant that really the first time that we got to sink our teeth into a bit of CrossFit, to measure ourselves, against one another properly, was last year's CrossFit Open. CrossFit Open, which was sort of question mark the whole way through because Dave Castro had been fired from CrossFit a couple of weeks before, and we didn't know whether we were doing his workouts, whether we were doing Bosman's workouts, whether it would be the 3 weeks plus an extra score at the end, things like that. But it was my first taste of doing the Open in the box, Friday Night Lights, and all I can say is it was flipping awesome. There's nothing quite like being in the box when it is packed, jam-packed full of people, when the hype is strong, when folks are backing you, when you've just got that ability to be there, to be hyping up other people, to be encouraging, to be cheering people on. And to my mind, the Open was a big success for us at the box. All 3 Friday nights I was there, I flipping loved everyone. I know a lot of people cheated and came back on Monday to redo. Say what you will about that. But it was just class. Loads of people like me doing it for the first time, loads of people, veterans, doing it for the umpteenth time. And yeah, it was just a really positive experience for me anyway, to be in the gym, to be in that environment, to have so many people kicking around, enjoying, hyping, just like being what we're all about. So the CrossFit Open came and went. And then finally, at last, we were able to get to our trios comp. I think it ended up being the end of April, beginning of May, like 30th and 1st. But one of the side effects of it being put back a couple of months was the owners took the decision to split it into a 2-day event. Back in January, it was going to be RX and Scaled kind of competing side by side, get one lot of heats out of the way, change some weight plates, get the other set of heats out of the way, etc, etc. But by the time the competition actually came round, it was RX Saturday, Scaled Sunday, which meant loads more teams, loads more time in the event. Didn't feel as rushed and what have you as other events have felt. And it was just, to my mind, the best programmed competition that I've been a part of. I know I've not been doing CrossFit that long, but I have travelled, I have involved myself, even if it's just to go places and judge for competitions. To my mind, it was the best programmed. And I don't know whether having it split over the 2 days helped with that, or whether it made no difference at all, but it was 2 days of quality CrossFit. We had Lil Mo's food, bellissimo. We had Kutch coffee and donuts. Now, I'm just of the opinion that if you sign up for a comp and they don't have Kutch coffee and donuts, then maybe you should just ask for your money back. I don't know, I think it's that simple. But yeah, it was a good pair of days showcasing CrossFit athletes from all over South Wales, from our box especially. A lot of people's first taste of competition, and just a joy, a pleasure to be about. A particular memory will be from the Sunday evening. Just the sheer number of people who stayed around after the event had long finished to clean up, to tidy up, to wait for Darren to have a shower so that we could get down the pub and have a drink together. That was a class part of the competition in and of itself. So the trios competition came and went. That was good fun. Then it was sort of a lean time in terms of the box organising competitions and that. Our next competition wouldn't be until the 10th of December. But one thing that we did do together was the now annual, I promise, CFL NB CG 2022 FL, which stands for CrossFit Llanelli No Ball CrossFit Games, the Year of the Games Fantasy League, where people from the box pick 5 men, 5 women, and compete against each other in the actual CrossFit Games to see if they can basically turn up with the best score at the end of it. And wouldn't you believe it, as if he's not satisfied with being top of Beyond the Whiteboard each and every single freaking day, Rhys Sams ended up winning the Fantasy League as well. And well done, Rhys, fair play, you earned it. But I'll be honest with you, I tried my best to dive into the stats, to dive into the choices that were made, to see if there was some way I could explain it that somebody had beaten you. Maybe somebody had beaten you in their men's picks, or maybe somebody had beaten you in their women's picks, or maybe even though you'd come first overall, someone had beaten you in terms of events wins or something like that. And it just wasn't possible. You just smashed us. You made it look easy, just like you made CrossFit look easy. But fair on you, it was a good laugh and there was a decent amount of banter around that as well. One of the things that we saw towards the end of the year was the coaching team expand. I know a lot of us were absolutely chuffed when we found out people like Rhys and Jem and Ads and Lindsay were going to get certified in CrossFit. Many of us enjoyed doing some functional fitness classes while we were waiting, or while we still are waiting for you guys to get the relevant qualifications. But you are folks in the gym that people respect, that people, your opinions we want anyway. We appreciate you. We know that you love CrossFit. We know that you love the box, and that goes a long way. So it has been great in the last year to have the kind of the coach roster grow, even if we still all want to just start every session with Bo's kind of robot dance. But great to have you guys doing that, and also to see some growth within the coaches, and to have that sort of flurry of muscle ups, first time muscle ups towards the end of the year, which seemed to coincide with people getting new shoes. I don't know whether there's anything in that, new shoes and new muscle up, I don't know, but there it was, and it's class to see not only you guys pushing us, but pushing yourselves and seeing growth in you as well as our coaches. So that's been class too. The cherry on the cake for our CrossFit year was then that mixed fours competition that we had December the 10th, straight into the CrossFit Llanelli Christmas party. And it was immense to have so many teams from CrossFit Llanelli taking part. There were a lot of people who had to pull out, injury, illness, other sort of things. But to have all those spaces filled and to have so many teams competing was immense. I personally loved the way that it was like a not RX and a not scaled comp. It was just, here's the work, kind of do as much as you can. And I think actually, from a judge's point of view, virtually everybody I judged ended up doing it RX anyway, and the leaderboard fell out as it did, including our own team finishing second, which is class. It's not much fun inviting people into our box and then us getting battered by every other CrossFit box. So loads of teams did well, loads of people got various firsts and PBs, but also like a sort of sense of pride for us all that our champs finished second, got on the podium as well. That was absolutely class. Anyway, we whisked ourselves away to the Christmas party over in Unit 7, catered by Hoyle, and I can honestly say the best chicken I have ever had. I do not know how crispy, spicy chicken wings drenched in caramel sauce can be so good, but they were. And so I apologise to everyone else who wanted more and couldn't have more, because I'm just that greedy again. Best chicken I have ever had. But I wanted to finish off just going through the awards and the award winners. And now I know Emma had the opportunity in our party to kind of comment on a couple of those folks. But I just wanted to say my piece as well and to congratulate people in their various ways. So we had the 2 most improved CrossFitters, male and female, Aisha and Matt, and most improved in their own ways, I think is fair to say. You get a little bit of training bias, so the people you train with, the people you think of, but Aisha has absolutely come on so much in the last 12 months. I mean, it would be hard for her not to. She's had a year now where she hasn't had a cast on her arm or a cast on her leg. So that sort of had made it easier for her to grow as a CrossFitter. But she is one of the ones who tick that box that I personally am always looking for in rugby players that I highlight, footballers that I follow. She's just got that fight, she's got that grit, she's got that determination. She doesn't mind a workout getting nasty, getting gnarly. She's willing to dig down deep and to power through it. So Ish, fair play. It's been good to see you for a year without some sort of fiberglass about your person, but you 100% deserve that. And then Matt, honestly, he's not going to see this because he's not on social media, but his progress over the last 12 months has been phenomenal. If you rewind to the Open, I had the privilege of judging Matt on the first workout and the third workout, and I cannot tell you how many no reps I gave him in that section on 22.3 that was the chest to bars. Not particularly deep into the workout, not sort of the place where you might expect a fit young man to struggle, but he just couldn't do the chest to bars. Maybe he'd get 1 every 5 that he attempted. To the end of the year, to the competition that we had on the day that we had the party, and he's knocking out multiple muscle ups. I mean, the boy's just a beast. Really impressive. Actually, looking back at the Open, the first workout with the wall walks is a really good indicator of why he's the most improved. I mean, it's easy because he's young. Obviously, that's why he's better than all of us, it's just because he's young. But in that first WOD, with the wall walks, he got absolutely annihilated by the wall walks. His technique was all over the shop. He didn't really know what he was doing. But he went away, he figured some things out, he got some coaching, he watched some videos, and he came back and he redid it, and he had already grown. He had already improved as a CrossFitter to beat his score on the Monday evening. So Matt, again, not going to see this, but you absolutely smashed it, mate. Next award was Soph getting best squat, I think it was. And, okay, everyone nods along and goes, yeah, Sophie's strong. Like, big deal. What are you going to do about that? Name an award where strength is the singular component and just give it to the strongest person about. But here's the thing about Soph, is that Soph is actually so much more than just power. The week leading up to the Christmas party, I was in a class with her and we were doing percentage of squat cleans, maybe even squat snatches. And I gotta be honest with you, her technique was absolutely banging. It was amazing. And she's another one who's just not shy of doing things that are hard, doing things that are uncomfortable. She's there, she's a Team Wars sort of like regular, which is not at all CrossFit that is aimed at strength and raw power and things like that. She is at it, she smashes it. So you're an absolute legend and your squat is genuinely scary. And emasculating, if I'm honest with you, when you warm up on the same bar as I'm doing my top sets, but there we are. Next award then was, I think, best snatch. Sam's won best snatch. To my mind, okay, hotly contested. There are some smashing snatches in our box, but who would begrudge the beast, He-Man himself, from taking away a winner's shirt from our Christmas party? Sam's, you make it all look incredibly easy, and it is very often most of our goals to scale in such a way that we can make it a race with you. We never get there, even when we let you scale in the opposite direction, RX plus in it. But yeah, we love cheering you on, and I think I speak for everyone in the box when I say I hope you smash the Open this year. I hope you smash the quarterfinals. We want you to do well because you're part of our club, of our family. Now then, next award was the Most Chalk Award, and that went to Eleanor, who made a face like this. Yeah, she doesn't know it, but everyone else does. Doesn't matter what the award is, she loves to get a little bit of chalk out. Now, it might not be the most glamorous award, Eleanor. It might not be the one that you've been chasing all year, but it is recognition that you, like Matt, like others, have come on leaps and bounds. You're also someone who has just grown over the last 12 months, 18 months, 24 months as a CrossFitter, doing things now that you would never have done in 2021, standing second on that podium alongside the Reeses and Jess at the competition. So whether it's an award for using a lot of chalk or whether it's just a recognition for being good fun in the box and for being, semi-decent at this CrossFit business, you deserve that. So congratulations, well done to you. Then we had the award for most questions. Was it most questions? He asks questioning. I think it was. Most questions asked. And the winner was Darren Bowen. Very often the question will be, what's up, mate? Why are you putting more weight on the bar? Or something like that, with a bit of banter with Darren. But no, he asks a lot of questions because he's not paying attention when the WOD is being briefed. A lot of us are guilty of that, but he's the one who's not so shy that he won't then just ask for everything to be repeated. He's Mr. CrossFit, baby, and he is a pleasure to train with. I know he trains at various times in various classes, so lots of people get to experience that with him. But Darren, absolute legend. Then the award for most likely to get the WOD wrong, Alison. Again, probably not an award someone is chasing all year round, not something that you've set your sights on in 2021 and thought to yourself 2022 is going to be the year that you sort of smash that one. But honestly, Al, everyone enjoys working out with you so much. You bring a lightness, you bring a joy, a smile to all the classes. And I'm sure the coaches would say your attitudes are great when you refuse to do burpees continuously. But there it is. You do make training in the box just that little bit easier just by your very presence. So congratulations to you for that. Part of the furniture, Jess. Well done, Jess. You've been a part of CrossFit Llanelli probably longer than virtually everybody else. So it's by de facto that you win that. But as with some of these other awards, it's not just like that element that you deserve the award for. You're always there, you're always encouraging people, you're always kind of getting people's chin up, literally when we're trying to lift, stop looking at the floor, but also like when people are struggling, when people are frustrated, you're there with the kindness, the warmth and the wisdom to crack people on. So again, someone is absolutely a pleasure to have. If you turn up to a class and Jess is there, then you know the class is going to be a good class. And we've got Abby, the social queen of CrossFit Llanelli, and, well, a mantle that you have taken on yourself, dear, and an award that you thoroughly deserve. You're the one who arranged various socials. You're an absolute nailed-on person to be coffee farting after Team Wars on a Saturday. And again, just someone who lightens the mood, who brings joy and fun and lightness to what could be grueling, hard, depressing days in a cold box or a hot box or something like that. So our social queen, may you long continue to reign over us and to keep us mixing, not just when we're sweating our balls off. The last award, which I'm naming a little bit late, should have come in earlier if I was doing it in the same order as Emma on the evening. The last award is the Kevin Award, so named for its winner, Kevin, and it's most likely to be late. So much so that when anybody else turns up late to a class, you might not know this, Kev, but we say, "Hey, here comes Kev." So you entertain us by coming late, you entertain us by wearing jeans, you entertain us by completely and utterly bucking the trend and wearing the oldest, skankiest shoes that you can to make a point that you do not need to spend 150 quid on Nobles to be an absolute beast. Kev, I think I used to think of you in my mind as sneaky fit. Now I just think of you as fit, mate. You're a powerhouse, you've got a smashing engine, and you're a good lad as well. So congratulations to you on that award. There was one more mention that I wanted to make. Didn't win an award on the night, but their performance on December the 10th deserves a mention, and that is John Thomas. John Thomas, who pops back, it seems like every other month to visit from the UAE, turned up at the Christmas party and told me that he'd landed in the UK, if you remember at the time, was like -4 at 6 a.m. that morning. He was in the party. He outlasted me in the party. And then I saw pictures on social media that he had gone out to Swansea afterwards. I can honestly say that is probably the most impressive performance of the entire year. To come from 30-degree heat in Dubai, to land at 6 a.m. UK time in freezing conditions, and to be out later that night. John, you may not be the fastest, you may not be the strongest, you may not be the most gymnastics, but that was an epic performance. Okay, well, I've rambled for nearly 22 minutes now. Just some thoughts, just some memories of the year that's gone, and really looking forward to spending the next 12 months growing in our health, growing in our fitness, growing in our athleticism together. And we've got about 45 days to smash the open. So let's get after it. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.